Historically, I would say procurement has been seen as the department of cheap.
When we come in, negotiate the price, and kind of act as the bad guy, so to speak. I guess at times maybe procurement is the bottleneck. We like to think of it as a positive.
If the price was the lowest, then great. We got a great outcome.
Very few companies have 100% or even 60 or 70% of their spend going through a catalog solution or eProcurement solution. The numbers are still fairly low, so there's a lot of opportunity there.
The hardest part of the finance job is to make sure that procurement decisions are made wisely. If you fragment your purchasing behavior, you deprive the company of optimizing its spending over the long run.
Rogue spend is a problem in every company.
Anytime a company tells me they have zero Maverick spend, or they submit a 0 on a benchmark, we discard that data. It's not possible. It's just not believable that no one went out and bought on their own. For most organizations, the data we see is about 5 to 10% of savings lost due to Maverick spend. That's millions of dollars. That's money just falling through our hands.
The reason that people spend outside of the system is either because they don't really care and they just want to get it done, or it is the fact that they just don't have any better tools to do their work.
Employees of a company go rogue or buy Maverick or whatever we want to call it. It's really a path of least resistance thing.
So typically, things that I look to buy for my job in terms of recruiting events are any sort of giveaways. So water bottles, keychains, mugs, anything with our company name on it. Sometimes there are things that I need to purchase that aren't in our catalog, and so I have to go outside the system, and I guess that makes me a rogue spender.
People buy outside of the system because they perceive that it's faster for them to do it themselves rather than to go through the system.
Actually, the other day I was looking for these giant post-it notes for an event that I was throwing, and our system didn't have them in stock at all, and I was kind of in a pinch for time, so I ended up going to Staples to buy those. By the time I got back, I had realized that that was kind of out of policy for the way we actually procure items for these events.
Why are people consistently breaking or trying to skirt around a particular aspect of the process? Is it because it's inhibitive towards achieving the outcome that they're working towards? Or is it that it's just adding a layer of bureaucracy into the process that is viewed as unnecessary?
As a consumer, when I go to buy something online, I expect to have a single sign-in. I sign into a site. I buy something, I can very easily check on the order. That's the way that I think all of us are accustomed to buying these days. Most of the e-procurement systems we see in the business space don't offer those type of features and that level of visibility.
I just don't really understand why this process can't be fast and easy like most other things that we deal with in everyday life are.
A procurement tool or a buying tool that is difficult to use, that's clunky, that's hard to understand, that doesn't have enough suppliers on it, can really be a dissatisfier for our stakeholders.
So the ideal situation for me would be kind of more of a one-stop shop where I'm sourcing, getting approvals, and getting reimbursed all in one stop, and the system has what I'm looking for every time.
So procurement software hasn't changed for the last 15 years. Companies are spending more than $13.2 trillion buying stuff, and yet less than 40% of all spend is under any kind of management or any kind of software. It's clear that the existing solutions, they're trying to solve this problem incrementally, just adding a little bit by little bit. And what we really need is radical change to solve this broken process. Imagine instead of just buying from one catalog or a few, that you could buy from hundreds of catalogs, thousands of vendors, integrated into one marketplace, searchable. In fact, imagine you can buy from anywhere, using the internet and the tools and processes you know today, and still get vendors and products you can trust. You can't just force bad software and bad processes upon people and expect it to work. You gotta listen to them. Listen to the people who are on the front line creating value for your company every day. Listening to the companies you're doing business with, and figure out together how we can create better processes. That's how we build software at Tradeshift, and that's why we're entering the procurement space.